The latest developments now on the closure of the Foxy Lady. Today, the state Supreme Court decided not to reopen the club for the time being. New tonight, the club took its appeal to the Department of Business Regulation to try and get its liquor license back in order to reopen as a bar without adult entertainment. Eyewitness News reporter Kate Walsh is live in Providence with what happened at today's hearing. Kate?
Well, Mike, as of right now, the Foxy Lady will remain closed as an adult entertainment venue through the new year. This afternoon, the Department of Business Regulation held a hearing and said they likely won't have a decision on what was said at that meeting until early next week or after Christmas now. And that means best case scenario for Foxy Lady could mean that they open as a bar, but without adult entertainment. The Foxy Lady has been closed since 3 women were arrested on prostitution allegations on the night of December 11th.
Every day that we don't have a liquor license, we are suffering irreparable harm.
The club's attorneys appealed the Board of Licenses' decision to take away 3 liquor licenses, arguing for 38 years they've had an unblemished record and now 225 employees are without jobs. The attorneys said they shouldn't have been shut down. Instead, there should have been progressive discipline. But at the Department of Business Regulation hearing, the city argued immediate closure was necessary here.
There were allegations of prostitution made inside an establishment, with the establishment, if not taking part in it, at least acquiescing to what was going on.
This hearing was focused solely on those 3 liquor licenses, but earlier in the day, both parties made their case in front of State Supreme Court Justice Frances Flaherty as the club asked for a stay or delay in the closure of the Foxy Lady. In a statement, Justice Flaherty sided with the Board of Licenses, saying, quote, "Unlike the department, which conducts de novo review, the review of this court is based on the record of the hearing, which took place before the board." And at the hearing today, the club asked that the DBR make an immediate decision on if they can open at all, at least as a bar. The DBR said likely, again, not until next week will a decision be made. And new at 6 o'clock tonight, this isn't the first time a club in Providence has been disciplined by the Board of Licenses, but we'll show you how this case is different from previous ones. Live in Providence, I'm Kate Walsh, Eyewitness News.
The future of Providence's Foxy Lady remains in limbo tonight, but if it's allowed to reopen at all, it wouldn't be until next week at the earliest and not as a strip club. Eyewitness News reporter Kate Walsh joins us now live from the Providence Mobile Newsroom with the latest developments. Kate?
That's right, Mike. The best case scenario right now for the Foxy Lady would be that they open as a bar with liquor licenses, but with no adult entertainment license. This afternoon, the attorneys for the club made the request to the Department of Business Regulation to make their decision about liquor licenses right away so that they could open as soon as possible and not keep losing money by staying closed. But right now, no decision has been made, so the club is still closed. 225 people are without jobs as the Foxy Lady remains closed through the holidays. Attorneys for the club asked the Department of Business Regulation to stay or delay the revocation of their 3 liquor licenses, meaning they could open just as a bar. Attorneys for the City of Providence and Board of Licenses, which voted to permanently shut down the club on Wednesday, said they discussed that, but there was no plan in place on how that would work.
The discussion we had today was that they would be able to function as an inn, albeit without the adult entertainment.
That is what we agreed to.
No immediate decision from the DBR director was made, meaning the Foxy Lady is still closed. Earlier in the day, Foxy Lady attorneys also appealed to the state Supreme Court the board's decision to close their doors. That meeting was private, but in a statement, Justice Frances Flaherty ordered the club stay closed, saying he read testimony from police officers, but nothing from the club. And, quote, petitioner further argues that it would have been futile to offer testimony at the hearing because the board was predisposed to rule against it. Justice Flaherty denied a stay until January 3rd, when he said the motion could be reconsidered by the full court. This afternoon, the DBR hearing officer asked both sides about other clubs in Providence that have recently been penalized by the Board of Licenses for violence inside their club, saying some even got their license taken away for 30 days but not closed right away, as the Foxy Lady was. The Board of Licenses explained in those cases they believe management didn't know that violence was going to occur in the club, but in this case they believe Foxy Lady management did know that there was alleged prostitution going on. The management for the Foxy Lady says they did not know that was going on and have denied that. Live in Providence, I'm Kate Walsh, Eyewitness News.